Hey guys, it's me, Kim. So let's talk about why this image makes me so freaking happy. And I'm not ashamed about that. Right now, sexual assaulters and the people who love them are upset. They're very much on the defensive. Bill Cosby's publicist Andrew Wyatt said that we're in the middle of a sex war.
What is going on in Washington today with Judge Kavanaugh is part of that sex war that Judge O'Neill along with his wife are a part of.
Steve Bannon, former chief strategist to the Predator-in-Chief, says that we're about to witness a fundamental cultural shift, but not in a good way.
The Time's Up movement is the most powerful political movement in the world.
And multiple men across many industries have said that this Me Too moment is nothing more than a witch hunt.
The spirit of much of what has been the Me Too movement is to divide men and women.
Underlying all these statements is not a righteous outrage or even a real concern about the law or due process. We know that because they've taken to saying the quiet part out loud. I'm concerned that my brother, son, husband, uncle will be accused of rape. The fear of accusation is expressed even before the inevitable, well, rape is bad, but... Now mind you, I didn't say false accusation because that doesn't matter. Frankly, most of the people who say that don't care about the veracity of the claim. It is about the claim. Truth isn't the concern, neither is eliminating rape or rape culture, and due process is certainly not the primary worry. Because most of us know that due process, even in our legal system, is a joke. Societally, we've proven over and over again that we're cool with cops who lie and prosecutors who withhold evidence. And by the way, if that interests you, I absolutely recommend diving deep into season 3 of Serial. They get into it. Nope, not about due process. The party of lock her up and Law and Order only cares about due process when a Republican is accused of a crime. The due process warriors don't care about fairness. We see it over and over again. They care about the maintenance of entrenched power. Some crimes threaten the social order. Those are the ones that should be prosecuted. The ones that don't deserve no recourse, according to them. Just look at how President Trump, the man who refuses to take back his endorsement of the death penalty for the Central Park Five, even after it was proven that they're innocent, still defends Joe Arpaio, even pardoning him, or Paul Manafort before we knew he flipped. I think it's really important that we fundamentally reconfigure our justice system so that we can get equality and fairness in outcome, but we're not there. So that's why when people say that men who are accused of sexual assault are under attack, I don't believe them, because it's not true. In order for that to be true, our justice system would have to be transformed in order to not favor men who are accused of rape. That hasn't happened. So when people are talking about men being under attack, they're talking about this rising public sentiment. But public outrage and disdain are not the same as structural disadvantage. Now, despite the fact that that idea is false, men are not under attack, I kind of like to hear it. Because that means that people see the ball moving. What's happening to Brett Kavanaugh right now is an indicator of progress. When I saw Brett Kavanaugh sneering and crying and grimacing, I was completely unmoved. Those are the tears we need to see. Call them cleansing tears. Probably not for him, but good for the rest of us. Because we have had to spend our lives tiptoeing around men, mostly wealthy and white, who always knew that they were going to get away with it. And it is a number of things: disrespect, poor behavior, misogyny, just being obnoxious. That's the stuff that begins with a teenage boy playfully harassing a girl after he's had too many drinks. Kavanaugh's public defenders include dozens of women. One of them, Renata Schroeder, got a little wake-up call when it turned out that her friend was actually bragging about hooking up with her way back when. The rest of them say that he's a stand-up guy. Now, I believe people can change and grow for the better. That's a fundamental part of my politics, but that change does not happen automatically. Any inkling that Brett Kavanaugh did grow completely dissipated when he went on that diatribe about all of his oppressors, including people who sought revenge for the Clintons.
This whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election, fear that has been unfairly stoked about my judicial record, revenge on behalf of the Clintons.
Kavanaugh's tears and all of these people up in arms about men being targets for these accusations is really about people being afraid that their free passes are going to be revoked. I do think a new day is coming. Now, we're not there, but we are on the verge of a time where people are not going to be able to do whatever they want and treat people as poorly as they want to and come out unscathed. Now, I lived my teenage life very carefully. No drinking, good grades, upstanding citizen, except for that one time. I'd had it drilled into me from the time I was a kid that I can't do what they do. That I had to be twice, 3 times, 4 times as good. And that's not about paranoia. I knew that even the smallest mistake could derail my life. In the case of the Brett Kavanaughs of the world, fear is good. Shame is good. You can't just live your life recklessly. The man isn't even afraid to perjure himself during sworn testimony. That's something he did multiple times last week. Now, if there's nothing to hide, why are you lying, Brett? This man thinks that he can lie his way onto the Supreme Court. And unfortunately, he's probably right. I mean, Clarence Thomas did it, and he's black. The obvious lying and the poor behavior in front of the whole world is maddening, because if this man were poor and black and not well connected, we would have discarded him long ago. Imagine a poor black girl talking back to a senator like that, questioning them. Imagine the consequences for her. And that's why I have no sympathy for Brett Kavanaugh. I'm glad his reputation has been damaged. His name is mud. He will no longer be able to teach this class at Harvard Law School. Any biography about him will always have to mention his poor behavior. And that's not nearly enough, but it's something. I hope that this will happen more and more. And the ruined reputations and the lost opportunities for men like Kavanaugh will serve as a warning. Times are changing. It is beyond time that these privileged men live with the same fear that the rest of us have. I'll call that a win. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you like the work that we do here, be sure to support us on Patreon. There's lots of extra content, bonus content, exclusive content, merch, tickets to events, or you can make a one-time donation. Links for all of that stuff is below. Sign up for the For Harriet newsletter, grab some merch, reach out if that's what you want to do. Thanks guys. Bye.